Hello and welcome to the Dragonlance mid-set finale. We've got a fantasy draft for you here. I've got a panel of experts that are going to help me out with that. Frodan, you're up.
My first pick is the person that I power ranked #1 going into this vent. It is Big Jeff himself. It's Milk. What is this picture? It's like 2 years old. Welcome everybody to Lobby C Game 2, the first day Dragonlance mid-set finale.
My spirit, my spirit. Now we prove our courage.
Let's throw down. Now we shall fraternize.
My spirit.
Milk Guy coming off a 5th, I believe, in the first game, so totally fine qualification position. Remember, for today, we're losing a third of the field, so you don't have to be in the top 8 heading into tomorrow. You just need to survive and advance, and 5th places throughout the day, you know, about there, right? You averaging a 4.5, you certainly get there. Milk with an upgraded Taric available, already has the upgraded Karma on his board as well. He took Tiny Titans at 130 HP. He is very healthy. How do you feel about that augment selection?
I think it fits his playstyle really well. Milk is a player that will be willing to lose every part of the early game in order to build his economy, and Tiny Titans gives him a lot of flexibility for his specific strategy. Now, that being said, heading into today, I had a chance of talking extensively with Milk, and he just feels like his game plan is all over the place. He feels very disorganized with what item he starts. He's not sure about the compositions he wants to land upon, and so his confidence is quite shaky. Even yesterday when we were discussing who to potentially do in our own personal fantasy drafts between myself, Bryce, Ramblin, and Asa, Milk was telling us, like, don't draft me. I don't feel confident going this week. And I thought I should have been rank 1 at the beginning of the week, Thursday night. I feel like I'm going 32nd.
Yeah, Milk is so hard to gauge in these situations because I feel like before each and every tournament he is saying that he is in some state of bad form, but then the tournament rolls around and Milk is always there in the hunt competing, the most successful tournament player in the history of North American teamfight tactics. So I'm going to choose to ignore that take from Milk. He is a force to be reckoned with in this tournament, as he always is.
Yeah. If you look at his board, you can see why that is. A lot of people would kind of feel like, wow, I have to play around the Jades, but, you know, do I get the Guardian value on his 2-star Taric? You know, just go with a standard strong board and just play 2 stars. And Karma, you don't necessarily need that healing. She's not getting attacked directly, and the attack speed is beneficial, but not super crucial. In the end, this is just good, solid stage 2 board. And Milk playing with Tiny Titans and streaking is going to be super dangerous. A lot of people believe that if you have Tiny Titans, you should just lose all of stage 2. But actually, the real power of Tiny Titans is in the mid stages of the game. You can totally also choose to go into a lose streak in order to greed for a very powerful fast 8, maybe even a fast 9 if all the stars align.
Yeah, and Milk is the type of player who's absolutely capable of doing that, so we'll have to check back in and see how his stage 3-4 is looking.
moment of reprieve. As we take a look at the carousel, there's a Yasuo with a spatula, and immediately Settlement, he goes for it.
Well, he does have the Deja already, and he's got a duplicator. He can definitely just hard commit and play around the Mirage line. A spatula on Yasuo is absolutely disgusting. This unit with a Cavalier spat is just so powerful because each and every time it dashes for its ultimate, it counts as triggering the Cavalier buff, so it's getting the defensive stats. So it's just ridiculously tanky in addition to doing a ton of damage and having a bunch of CC to go with it. Hopping on board with Milk, who is up at 90 HP, has been making great use of the Tiny Titans throughout this game, as we discussed. And is he not going to roll here? It looks like Milk might be contemplating a fast 9.
Oh, that is my guy, Milk guy. I mean, this is exactly up the alley. In fact, you know, it feels nice knowing that Milk is in his comfort zone. He wouldn't do this unless he knew exactly what he was signing up for. And Fast 9 into Stabilize is right up his alley. He has so much HP, and also, his board isn't that bad. It should kill some units, and Milk's not looking to win. Winning is just a nice bonus. He's looking to kill half the board, at least like 3 to 4 champions per fight, which he should be able to get done with this board. Even better, he might be able to get a win versus Solus. If Solus's frontline cracks, Nunu finally able to get through the itis. And
wow.
Milk ends up taking a fantastic loss, almost as good as it gets.
Yeah, that's best case scenario for Milk. He would actually prefer probably to lose just, 1 unit, 2 unit losses and keep his economy ramping for that Fast 9. You called it out at the very beginning of the game that Milk is so comfortable using that tempo Tiny Titans into a Fast 8 or a Fast 9. That's exactly what we're seeing. I can't wait to check back in on his board for that level 9 transition. Hopping on board with Milk, who was able to hit an Aurelion Soul of his own, so he's gotten a lot stronger than the last time we saw him. I think he would prefer to play around Ao Shin this game because he has that Spear of Shojin, which suggests Ao Shin to me, but hey, you play what you hit, and in this situation, he hit Aurelion Soul, so that's what we're going to play around for now. He's also going to build an Edge of Night, an item that works well to keep his carry alive for the time being, and I ultimately expect this to wind up being a double Archangel Staff plus a Shojin on an Ao Shin, and then he's going to play around Yasuo with that Edge of Night. Milk is thinking 3 steps ahead for his level 9 board and his itemization selection.
There's a lot that went into this decision. One, Milk noticed a lack of defensive items. So he had, wow, I have 3 vests. How can I utilize it? 2, a lot of people look at Aurelion Soul and they look at Ao Shin and they say, don't I want something like a Gunblade or a Bloodthirster or a Hand of Justice so I can keep healing? You look at Milk's augments, he has 2 healing sources. So if he can just keep the Aurelion Soul alive with the 2 Archangel Staffs, I mean, he doesn't have Ascension like Stellar Minhee, but at its core, he's constructing his board in a very intelligent way. And the best part about it is that Milk's board looks quite fraudulent on paper, but it still has possibility of even winning fights if they can't crack the front line in a timely manner. Let's go up and see against Bird of Swords, who has Nico 2 with 2 Warmogs and a 1-star Shyvana to complement it. Is this enough to take down Milk's board, as we do see the Aurelion Soul getting the first cast in? Shyvana's second percent able to crack the rest of it. So Milk does take a pretty heavy loss. This was not the kind of losses that he was looking for.
No, it's not, but some of these losses are inevitable on your way to a Fast 9. Meanwhile, Bertosaurus is just in scrapping it out for top 4 mode if at all possible. His board is definitely fraudulent. Bert is going to be happy to get a 4th or 5th place in this game, so very, very happy to go up against Milk's board on that round. Basically, at this stage, everyone is praying they get the matchmaking RNG to face Milk, because Milk is the weakest board in this lobby for this turn, and only this turn. Next turn, I expect him to be all in. Milk is incredible at capping out his boards at level 9, so play him now while you still can and get that W.
Meanwhile, who's Milk want to face on the opposite side? Going up against another weak spot player, Stellar Minhee. It's the Aesol Mirror. Dual Gauntlet is the weapon of choice to outfit it. Does have a Soraka to help swing the fight. And so Milk, again, just trying to clean up units. It kind of depends on where this Aurelion Soul ends up landing.
Oh.
Doesn't end up killing a lot of units. This is almost a full team wipe. And Milk now down to 29 HP. But hey, that's still more than enough. And funny enough, without Titans, he would be straight up dead at this point. Let's take a look at what's happening around the Convergence. Bosso skills now in 8th place at 14 HP. But focusing on Milk's roll down, here we go. What's he going to be able to collect here?
We're looking for the golden units. There's Yasuo. He does have Aurelion Soul 2 potential here with the duplicator if he decides to go for that. There's the Ao Shin. Will he go for the Cell here? It's a tough spot because he can make the Aurelion Soul 2 right now. He just prefers the Ao Shin. I like this decision. Very decisive from Milk, playing for first place. Wants to play for the highest cap board he can.
Okay. Decides to go for the Mystic the last second. Needs to get the items on. And the order does kind of matter. Ends up going for the Shojin and double Archangels. Very astute because now that if he has a Yasuo, he can put the Edge of Night onto there as well. Does actually get the cast. Does end up getting it off. Kills off most of the army. Yasuo can also finish the job here with the Execute. And that should do it. Milk has stabilized for one fight. And here we go. Let's see how far Milk can able to take this. As you do lose one member out of our 8-player lobby. Bosso skills after that devastating finish to his Stage 2 campaign ends in 8th place. Cyber not too far behind him. Ends up taking that Zoe with the Shroud, so one of the best units already gone. Milk ends up losing some more additional front line. Looks like he's going to take this Sunfire Cape. And, you know, Sunfire Cape is late in the game. Not nearly as impactful, but still pretty useful.
Yeah, he doesn't have any anti-heal, and there's just so much healing throughout the meta right now that it feels like a great placeholder. He would prefer the ZZ route for additional stall. His board really only needs to stall to find success, but someone grabbed it before him.
Another big win for Milk as we do drop off another player. Cyber with another bot 2 finish.
There it is. It is very, very hard to beat a capped Ao Shin board in this meta. Delicious Milk with an Ao Shin 2 with incredibly good items. He's also got this Yasuo pair. He also has incredible flexibility on these items. Like for the Yasuo, for example, he has Remover, so he can play around Yasuo items. I think, you know, we talked earlier about how Milk was in the driver's seat to win that game, and he seems to be pulling away.
Pulling away for now. We haven't checked on every other board. So this is one of the players I was curious about because he was streaking. Stellar Minhee streaking with almost an entire 1-star board with a 2-star Silas. So going back to that core principle we talked about, if you're going to go for the fast 8, make sure you have a sturdy front line. Ao Shin 2 wiping absolutely everything. Stellar Minhee is going to take a major loss. And this is a place of false comfort for Stellar Minhee. They were feeling okay. They were streaking. But all of a sudden, one nasty loss puts bot 4 on the table for him as well as Solus and Casper Wu. All of a sudden, the tables have turned. Those who felt like they were in a decent spot for top 4 were not sure anymore.
We see he's going to go up against Milk once again. Does he have what it takes to actually get access to this Ao Shin line before Ao Shin kills everything?
It's going to be really tough. Milk fortified his front line even further. And the onslaught did not even get onto the Ao Shin whatsoever. Ao Shin's about to go for a big lightning rain. This is not even close, right?
The two most important units are alive.
Yeah, the lightning rain didn't target any of the carries. It actually kept both of them alive, so the second one will just have to do, I suppose. But in reality, you can just see how much stuff Milk got in the way. The trainer, the ZZ Rot, the sturdy frontline, the Zoe Daisy. There's so much stuff. And it's just hard to take it down fast enough before that second Ao Shin cast.
Yeah, there's just no backline access for St. Vicious. I think St. Vicious essentially has a 0% chance of beating Milk's board. I mean, if Milk wants to, like, full throw and frontline the Ao Shin or something, maybe. But if Milk plays safe, secure TFT, which we obviously know he will, I don't see how Saint can possibly get a fight win there. Burtosaurus does have some possibility, right? Because this Shyvana 2 plus the Yasuo 2, you could theoretically get access to Milk if you can either circumvent the frontline with the Shyvana or get through it fast enough. So that fight feels a little bit scary, although Saint did just hit a Yasuo 2, which is a big spike, and Milk now has a Yasuo 2 as well. It is 3 Yasuo 2s in our final 3 boards. Everybody is getting pretty capped out here, especially since it's a silver, gold lobby. You don't expect to get to quite these power levels.
Yeah, it's balanced, right? Everyone has Yasuo 2. Game is balanced. You know, everyone is fighting on equal footing, right? Well, we're about to find out as Burtosaurus has another showdown Burt with a full clump into the Jade stash to see if he can get max value. And that Nico from Milk, or rather the Zephyr from Milk, is money as he's able to take down that frontliner. The spread also is pretty favorable, depends on where Shyvana chooses to target. And somehow aims backwards. Burtosaurus takes 1,000,000 damage. Goes down to -18, and Saint is able to fight for top 2. And if it's going to be a repeat of what ended up happening last time, I feel like it's very likely because Milk 2-starred both of his legendaries, and he hit a Zephyr, and he still has an item remover to maybe even cherry pick to where he wants to get the ideal Zephyr at the beginning of the next fight.
Yeah, and Milk also on multiple lives here, so it doesn't feel like he has to use that remover right away, potentially just thinking about the St. Vicious matchup. He does want to spread his units to make sure that this Yasuo does not get big CC. He did use the remover, so we're going to have a Zephyr to cheese. Did St. Vicious notice that? He's going to move to a square where he cannot get his primary carry Zephyr.
I mean, it's pretty much corner and front center. And Milk lands it. It is money. It is a trademark of Milk's play as he's able to utilize things like control and his powerful macro in order to get a very easy, comfortable victory. The win out is what he's been aiming for a long time. And the second cast from Ao Shin is the clock. Does interrupt for a brief second. That lightning rain number 2 is way too much. Milk guy gonna crush Game 2 of Lobby C and put himself in prime position to snowball that victory for a day 1 top finish.